Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
Gaming is happening, whether or not the people of Guam want to accept it. The question now is, what are we doing as a government to monitor and collect the appropriate taxes on this mainly cash industry?
Less than 3 years ago, a new law was created to impose a new limited gaming tax, of which proceeds are divided between the Mayor's Council, Parks and Recs, and the Department of Education. The new law also imposed another 4% GMHA trust fund fee.
The good news is we're collecting taxes from an industry that we really hadn't been monitoring or seen before.
However, according to Public Auditor Doris Flores Brooks, the bad news is that this is a cash industry that unfortunately has not been monitored and could result in revenue loss.
I think there is significantly a lack of monitoring. It's a self-reported tax. And self-reporting in a cash industry is highly, there's a high probability of revenue leakage unless there are controls in place.
The audit found multiple discrepancies and inconsistencies. For instance, the numbers don't match between Rev Tax and the Department of Administration in terms of how much was collected for the limited gaming tax and the GMHA trust fund fees. Meanwhile, between tax years 2013 through 2015, only $33.3 million in gambling winnings was reported by 8 out of 44 entities. DRT didn't bother to assess any penalties. Auditor-in-charge Clarissa Roque explains.
It's very strict penalties. Like it comes to even you committing a third-degree felony if you failed to file or pay the tax with 2 or more occurrences. $1,000 or greater penalties for failure to pay or failure to file. So that's something that we found that they weren't really assessing any penalties.
The report also shows a top gaming entity with gross receipts in excess of $60 million did not report any gambling winnings. But it's not just reporting, but several Liberty and Symbolics gaming entities also were not even paying their limited gaming tax. A total of 6 failed to pay $17,000 of the required limited gaming tax for gaming activities between FY14 and 15. In the meantime, Brooks says with any new tax, there's a high probability for a lack of enforcement. She recommends moving from a manual to a more electronic filing for better monitoring.
It has a very old, antiquated system that keeps on evolving over the years. We are a billion-dollar tax government. We need to invest in technology and make that information available.
You can read the full report on opaguam.org. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.
Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.